The Finance Ministry has reaffirmed its assessment that the Korean economy is on a recovery path, but adds that inflation remains a viable concern. Our correspondent Moon Ji-young reports.
The South Korean economy is continuing on a gradual recovery path. In its latest Green Book, the Ministry of Economy and Finance said domestic consumption is improving and semiconductor-led exports continue to show strength, helping the economy move out of the sluggishness seen in the first half of the year. But the ministry also pointed to volatility in monthly indicators due to long holiday periods and base effects, as well as ongoing employment challenges in vulnerable sectors. Industrial output in October fell 2.5% from a month earlier, the biggest drop in nearly 6 years, largely due to a sharp fall in semiconductor production, while service sector output also dipped slightly. Still, consumption showed resilience. Retail sales rose 3.5%, supported by stronger demand for semi-durable and non-durable goods, as consumer sentiment climbed to its highest level in 8 years. Additionally, the number of Chinese visitors to Korea jumped nearly 27% from a year ago. Inflation, however, remains a concern. Consumer prices rose 2.4% in November, driven by higher agriculture and petroleum prices and the impact of a stronger U.S. dollar.
Rising prices for agricultural products and petroleum are adding pressure to household living costs. And with the weaker won also putting upward pressure on inflation, we plan to strengthen our policy response.
The ministry also warned that global uncertainties remain elevated, with major economies imposing new tariffs and trade tensions weighing on growth. To support momentum, the government plans to accelerate next year's budget execution from early 2026 and step up efforts to further boost domestic demand. Moon Ji-young, Arirang News.
And the president has called for tougher financial penalties against companies that fail to protect customer data. Now, the call comes in light of the massive leak of personal information from e-commerce giant Coupang. Speaking during a policy briefing by the Personal Information Protection Commission on this Friday, the president said sanctions should be punitive enough to fuel fear of business closure. Under current regulations, companies can be fined up to 3% of their total revenue for data breaches that are calculated based on the average revenue over the past 3 years. Accordingly, President Lee suggested imposing penalties based on the highest revenue during that period rather than the 3-year average. In response, the Personal Information Protection Commission said it was considering raising fines up to 10% of revenue in cases of repeated serious violations.